Carol Angela Davis with your reality news check for Friday, August 5th, 2011. We're going to begin with your headlines. Great jobs news for the Democrats and for President Barack Obama, but the Republicans say not so fast. Also today, this mayor says his town should not have to pay up because when he signed the contracts, he was drunk. Yeah. Also today, there's a new Spider-Man in town. We'll tell you about his new identity. I think it'll surprise you. Plus, we also have news of the rich companies. They are hoarding cash. Maybe this is why they won't create jobs. Yeah. Also today, evicted, so he says, I'm running for president. And is another of Muammar Gaddafi's sons dead? We'll tell you about it. And then finally today, the deadly salmonella outbreak. Are there more to come? And how did this happen? Wait till you hear the details on that. Let's begin with good news, great news for the Democratic Party and President Barack Obama. The economy added 117,000 jobs in July, pushing the unemployment rate back to 9.1%. Forecasters had projected the economy would add only 75,000 jobs. The economy, you should know, needs to add about 150,000 jobs a month for a sustained period of about 12 months to really put a dent in unemployment given population growth. Now, Austin Goolsbee, chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors, he is emphasizing that the private sector added 2.4 million jobs over the last 17 months. That is an average of 141,176 jobs per month for each of the last 17 months. So we are getting there. We are getting there, okay? But, the naysayers in the Republican Party, they won't have such good news. Here's what they said about the good jobs news. Former Minnesota Governor Tim Pawlenty said the jobs report is, quote, driving our company toward decline, unquote. No. Representative Michelle Bachmann of Minnesota, she said, quote, the president can attempt to blame and spin away this bad week's economic news, unquote. No, Michelle, it's good news. Former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney warned of 8 years of Obama. No, that would be 8 years of George Bush, and I think we know what the effect of that is. And we should also tell you that former Utah Governor and U.S. Ambassador to China Jon Huntsman said Obama has failed to turn the economy around since he took office. But folks, let's face it, the numbers don't lie. They just don't lie. The job market strengthened in July. Employers added 117,000 jobs, well above the 46,000 jobs added in June. We should tell you the unemployment rate, as we said, it improved slightly to 9.1%. We know that we've added 141,176 jobs a month average over the last 17 months. We're getting there. Hold on. Meanwhile, the White House is pressing lawmakers to extend a payroll tax break and federal unemployment benefits to provide more stimulus to the economy. But here's the shock of the century. The Republicans said no. Yeah, we're shocked, right? Okay, let's go on. Oh, get this. In business news, Bank of New York Mellon Corp., the great equalizers are coming into play, has taken the extraordinary step of telling large clients it will charge them to hold their cash. It means some U.S. depositors will have to pay to keep big chunks of money in the bank, and we all know they cannot put all that money in a mattress. We're talking about money over $50 million. Why? Because corporations and investors are socking away cash in their bank accounts rather than putting it into even the safest investments, and we know rather than creating jobs. Individuals are not affected by this rule, but corporate executives, job creators, bank leaders, money market fund managers, they are all hoarding cash. In fact, the fastest growing asset on bank balance sheets this year is cash. Cold, hard cash, okay? Since the beginning of the year, U.S. bank holdings of cash, they're up 83%, or $890 billion, folks, with a B, to $1.98 trillion. Are you going to tell me they can't create any jobs? Come on, folks. Come on now. Invest in us. Invest in the U.S. economy. Trust me, it's better than holding cash and paying people money to hold it for you. Okay, meanwhile, the IRS, here's what it says. It says, of the 235,413 taxpayers who earned $1 million or more in 2009, guess what? 1,470 of them paid absolutely no taxes. You betcha, folks. And get this, between 2008 and 2009, the average income for American taxpayers fell, folks. It dropped 6.1% to $54,283. Okay? So get this. A law professor, Ed Kleinbarg, he's a law professor at the University of Southern California. Here's what he says, quote, "What you're seeing is the devastation of the massive loss of jobs and the effects of the real recession on real Americans," unquote. Take your money out the bank, folks. Put it in the people. Invest it in America. Now, let's turn to some health news. The net salmonella outbreak linked to a recall of ground turkey produced at that Cargill plant out of Springdale, Arkansas. Representative Rosa DeLauro, a Democrat from Connecticut, says the GOP cuts have targeted the Food and Drug Administration, that's the FDA, and the Agricultural Department, that's the USDA, and will lead to only more food-borne illnesses. Representative DeLauro is the senior Democrat on the Appropriation Committee's Health Sub-Panel. Federal officials say the ground turkey that is tainted, it is tainted with an especially dangerous type of salmonella. It may still be in some home freezers. The recall is the nation's third largest meat recall. The contaminated meat is already blamed for 78 illnesses, including one death in California. Let's turn to some international news. A Libyan rebel spokesman says a NATO airstrike on the western city of Zlatan has killed Qamis Gaddafi. That is one of the sons of Libya leader Muammar Gaddafi. Reportedly, Qamis was among 32 people killed in the strike. Qamis is 28 years old. He's the commander of the Libyan Army's 32nd Brigade. According to rebels, that brigade has been at the forefront of the government's defense of Zlatan, the last major western town on the road to Tripoli from the rebel-held east of the country. In local news, we turn to New York City, where a candidate who ran for New York governor because, quote, the rent is too damn high, unquote, is now being evicted, he says, because his rent is too low. You betcha. Jimmy McMillan says his landlord is evicting him from his rent-controlled Manhattan apartment because his landlord wants to charge a new tenant more money. McMillan says that's it. He's running for president. And from New Mexico, wait till you hear this. The mayor of Mexico border town Sunland Park and a congressional candidate, his name is Martin Resendez. Well, here's the story. Resendez says he was drunk when he signed 9 contracts with a California company that is now suing the city for $1 million. You betcha. Resendez says the contracts were signed after several hours of drinking with plaintiffs, Synthesis Plus executives. Whoa. Among the executives present, he says, was architect Daniel Sotero. He says, Resendez says the documents were given to him by the architect who did not represent that they were legal documents. For his part, Resendez is a former police officer. He has been mayor of the town since 2008. He says he plans to seek the Democratic nomination to challenge Republican U.S. Representative Steve Pearce. And then finally today, there's a new Spider-Man in town. Peter Parker, you know, he's dead. But Spider-Man is still around. He's been reinvented as Miles Morales. He's a half-black, half-Hispanic American teenager. He's inspired to do good after the death of Parker at the hands of the Green Goblin. He's being launched in the pages of Marvel Comics Ultimate Fallout #4. Pick it up. I'm Carol Angela Davis. Thanks for joining me. We are here with your Reality News Check. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter at Carol Angela D. I'll see you Monday, same time, same place, new stories. Have yourself a great weekend.